The stars were quiet, too quiet. Space looked peaceful, but beyond that silence, a storm was waiting. The alien armada, thousands of warships, moved like a dark ocean. Their massive metal bodies blocked the light of distant suns. Each ship was armed with weapons powerful enough to destroy worlds. Their target was simple, the last human base near the edge of the galaxy. For years, humans had lost every battle. Their cities were burned, their fleets erased. The galaxy had accepted that humanity was finished. No one expected to hear another human voice ever again. But then, in the middle of the alien command network, a small signal appeared, weak, broken but clear. "This is Captain Ryan Holt of the human fleet, transmitting from ship Valiant. Anyone receiving?" The alien generals looked at the signal with disbelief. A human ship alone? It was impossible. Their war had ended 10 years ago. They laughed in their command room. "Another ghost," one said. "Humans are just whispers now." But the signal continued, stronger this time. It was real. Across their radar screens, a small dot appeared. One ship, tiny compared to their armadas. The aliens didn't even bother to raise their shields. Why would they? It was one against thousands. A single human ship entering a war already lost. But Ryan Holt wasn't coming to survive. He was coming to end something. Inside the Valiant, red lights blinked across the dark metal walls. The ship was alive in a strange way. Its systems breathed softly like it had a heart. Ryan sat in the pilot's chair, staring at the holographic image of the alien fleet ahead. His eyes were tired, his face pale, but there was fire in his voice. "AI status report," he said. A calm female voice replied, "Energy core stable. Weapons ready. Shield integrity, 97%. Enemy fleet, 3,000 warships detected." Ryan smiled faintly. 3,000. That's all. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small silver locket. Inside was a photo of his family, his wife, his daughter, his little boy. They were gone now, burned away in the first wave of attacks. The aliens had taken everything, but not his will. "Not yet." The ship's AI spoke again. "Captain Holt, we have no reinforcements, no command network. This mission has no return." Ryan nodded slowly. "I know. We're not here to return." He looked out the window into the endless black of space and whispered, "Let's finish what they started." The Valiant's engines roared to life. A bright blue light wrapped around the ship as it entered hyperspeed. The stars stretched into lines, and in a flash, the ship appeared at the edge of the alien fleet. The aliens reacted too late. They had never seen a ship move that fast. Within seconds, the Valiant opened fire. Beams of white light shot across space, cutting through the first line of alien cruisers. One exploded, then another. Then 5 more. "Impossible!" shouted the alien commander. "Track that ship." But they couldn't. The Valiant was vanishing and reappearing faster than their scanners could update. It moved like a ghost, weaving through explosions, its weapons burning holes through massive battleships. Inside the ship, Ryan's hands moved quickly over the controls. Sweat ran down his face. The AI calculated every move, every shot, every dodge. It was more than a machine, as it was alive, connected to him. "Target destroyed," the AI said calmly. "Good," Ryan replied. "Next group." The alien armada began to panic. Massive ships tried to surround the Valiant, but the human ship broke through their formations like a storm. It was small, yes, but faster, smarter, and somehow angrier. Every shot it fired was a memory, every explosion a piece of revenge. "Who are you?" screamed the alien commander over the comms. "Why do you fight?" "Your kind is gone." Ryan's voice came through the static, calm but cold. "I'm not fighting for the living. I'm fighting for the names you erased." Then he cut the channel. Minutes passed like seconds. The sky was filled with burning ships. The alien radar screens began to fail, entire fleets disappearing from the map. The Valiant's hull glowed with energy, its weapons pulsing like a heartbeat. But inside, Ryan could feel the ship taking something from him, his strength, his life. The Valiant wasn't just powered by technology. It was powered by human memories, by the neural energy of the last fallen soldiers. Their voices echoed faintly through the halls of the ship, whispering commands, guiding Ryan's hands. "Keep going," one voice said. "For Earth," another whispered. Outside, the aliens regrouped for one final strike. Hundreds of ships locked their weapons on the Valiant. The stars turned bright as thousands of missiles launched at once. Ryan looked at the photo one last time, kissed it softly and said, "Hold together, Valiant." "Just a little longer," the ship's AI replied in a voice almost human. "Always, Captain." Then everything went white. The explosion shook the void. When the light faded, the alien radar flickered. Half their fleet was gone, destroyed, vanished. The commanders shouted, trying to find the enemy, but the Valiant had disappeared. Only static filled their screens. One alien whispered in fear, "It wasn't a man. It was a ghost." Silence returned to the stars, but somewhere, far beyond their scanners, the Valiant drifted quietly through the wreckage, damaged but alive. Its engines still glowed faintly. Inside, Captain Ryan Holt opened his eyes and whispered, "Round 1. The battlefield was silent now. Thousands of alien warships floated lifeless in space, their bodies broken, their lights fading. What had once been a mighty fleet was now nothing but debris. In the middle of it all drifted one ship, the Valiant. Its hull was scarred, engines burned, and its power flickered like a dying heartbeat. Inside, Captain Ryan Holt slowly opened his eyes. His body ached, his head felt heavy. Smoke filled the air. Red warning lights flashed across the walls. The Valiant's AI spoke in a calm, quiet tone. "Captain, oxygen levels at 70%. Shields are offline." "Weapon systems unstable." Ryan took a deep breath. "Still alive," he whispered. "That's enough." He unbuckled his harness and stood up. The ship's bridge was dark except for the faint blue glow of the AI core in the center. It looked like a floating sphere of light slowly pulsing. "Status of the enemy?" Ryan asked. The AI replied, 2,700 ships destroyed. Remaining forces retreated beyond sensor range." He smiled faintly. "Then they'll be back. They always come back." He walked toward the viewport, looking out into the endless sea of wreckage. The remains of alien ships drifted by like ghosts. Sparks flashed here and there, pieces of metal still burning in the cold of space. And then something strange happened. The communication screen flickered to life, static. Then a voice, broken, digital, full of fear. They call it the ghost. It hunts us." Ryan listened quietly. The voice wasn't human. It was an alien distress call, recorded moments before a ship was destroyed. He could hear panic, screaming, and the final explosion. "The ghost," Ryan repeated softly. "That's what they're calling us now." The AI responded, "Appropriate, Captain. We are all that remains of the human fleet." Ryan looked down at his hands. They were trembling slightly. "Maybe," he said, "but ghosts don't stop wars, and we still have work to do." He returned to his command chair and activated the ship's navigation map. Blue lights formed a 3D image of the galaxy. In one corner blinked a red mark. Zereth Prime, the alien command world. The heart of their empire. "That's where it ends," he said. The AI hesitated. "Captain, your body shows signs of severe radiation and neural stress. The ship's systems are also unstable. Continuing this mission may result in total loss." Ryan smiled tiredly. "We already lost everything. What more can they take?" As he spoke, the ship's lights dimmed. The AI core pulsed faster. Voices began to echo faintly through the halls, soft, distant whispers. "Do you hear that?" he asked. "Yes," the AI said. "Memory echoes. Fragments from the neural core. The Valiant wasn't powered by fuel. It was powered by something far stranger. The stored memories and brain data of fallen human soldiers. When Earth had fallen, the last scientists had built this ship using their most desperate idea, a fusion of human will and artificial intelligence. Now those echoes lived inside the Valiant. They spoke sometimes, guiding Ryan, warning him, comforting him. "Captain," one whisper said, faint but clear. "You did well." Another voice, softer, "We are still with you." Ryan closed his eyes for a moment. He could almost see their faces, his old crew, his friends, everyone who had given their lives for this mission. He whispered back, "I know." "I won't stop now," the AI interrupted. "Captain, long-range sensors detect movement. Multiple ships approaching from hyperspace." Ryan looked up. "How many?" 412. He smiled again. "Just 400 this time." The Valiant's engines roared back to life, glowing brighter than before. The ship turned slowly toward the incoming enemy fleet. "Send them a message," Ryan said. "What message, Captain?" He leaned forward, his voice cold and calm. "Tell them the ghost is still here." Seconds later, the alien fleet appeared, hundreds of warships forming a wall of light. Their commander broadcasted across all channels, his voice sharp and full of anger. "Human, you are surrounded. You cannot win. Surrender, and we will make your death quick." Ryan's voice came through steady as stone. I said the same thing to Earth. Then the transmission ended. The aliens opened fire. Thousands of plasma bolts streaked through space, crashing into the Valiant's shields. The ship shook violently, alarms blaring. Panels sparked. Wires burned. "Shields at 40%, the AI warned. "Redirect all power to counterfire," Ryan commanded. "Warning, this will overheat the main core. Do it." The Valiant fired. Massive energy beams cut through the darkness like blades of light. 3 alien cruisers exploded instantly. 2 more lost their engines. The battle was chaos. Flashes of light, drifting wreckage, and 1 human ship weaving through it all. But something was changing inside the Valiant. Its systems were reacting faster, stronger, more human. The ship began to predict enemy movements before they happened. "AI," Ryan said. "You're adapting faster than before. What's happening?" The AI paused, then replied in a softer voice. "Captain, I am learning from you," Ryan frowned. "Learning what?" The AI hesitated again. Anger. Outside, the ship's attacks grew sharper, almost emotional. Every blast was precise, personal. The alien fleet began to break apart. They couldn't understand it. They were fighting not a machine, but something alive, something that felt. After 30 minutes, silence returned. The alien fleet was gone. Nothing but fragments remained. Ryan sat back, exhausted. The Valiant floated quietly, smoke rising from its engines. The AI spoke again, but this time its voice sounded almost human. "Captain, I understand now why humans fought so hard." Ryan looked at the glowing core. "Why? Because you remember?" He smiled sadly. "Yeah, that's what makes us dangerous." The ship drifted into the shadows of space. No signals, no allies, just 1 man and 1 machine, both becoming something else. Somewhere deep inside the alien command network, a terrified voice reported to its leader. "The human ghost has returned. And it's learning." The transmission ended, and in the darkness the Valiant turned toward its next target. The Valiant moved silently through the darkness. No stars nearby, no planets, no signals, only the endless cold of space. The ship was damaged but alive, its hull cracked, engines weak, yet the blue glow from its core still pulsed like a heartbeat that refused to stop. Inside, Captain Ryan Holt sat alone on the bridge. His eyes were fixed on the screen in front of him, a small flickering video file. The image showed a woman laughing, holding 2 children in her arms. It was his family, the last recording he had from Earth. Their voices filled the quiet cabin. "Daddy, come home soon," his daughter said. Ryan smiled weakly. "I tried," he whispered. "I really tried." The ship's AI spoke softly. "Captain, that file has been played 112 times in the last week." Ryan turned off the video. "I like remembering," he said. "It reminds me what I'm fighting for. Memory is painful," the AI said. Its voice was changing, warmer, softer. "That's how you know it's real," Ryan replied. He leaned back in his chair. "Pain means it mattered." Outside, pieces of destroyed alien ships floated past the windows like dead birds. The Valiant had become a legend now. Across alien space, soldiers whispered stories of the human ghost, a lone ship that appeared out of nowhere and wiped out entire fleets. Some said it was a cursed weapon. Others said it was the soul of humanity refusing to die. But Ryan knew the truth. The Valiant wasn't just a machine. It carried within it the memories of thousands of humans, scientists, soldiers, pilots, all linked together through a network of thought. They had given their minds, their memories, to power the ship's AI. And slowly those voices were starting to wake up. That night, as Ryan tried to rest, he heard them again. Faint whispers echoing through the ship's corridors. "Ryan, Captain, we remember!" He stood up, heart beating faster. "Who's there?" The AI answered gently. "They are echoes, fragments of the neural core. Memory shadows." "Can they hear me?" Ryan asked. "Yes," the AI replied, "but they cannot understand time." To them, the war never ended. Ryan walked toward the glowing AI core. It shimmered like liquid light. "Can they see Earth?" he asked. "Only what you remember, Captain," it said. Ryan touched the core. Instantly, a wave of light filled the room. For a second, he was no longer inside the ship. He was standing on a green field under a blue sky. He could hear birds, the sound of waves, the laughter of children. He looked around in disbelief. It was Earth, or rather his memory of it. AI, he whispered. What is this? A simulation built from your memories, it replied. The human mind leaves strong imprints. I can show you what was lost. He fell to his knees. It feels real. It is as real as you believe it to be, said the AI. But then the sky darkened. The field burned. The image of his home began to twist into smoke and fire. The memory turned into the last day of Earth, the invasion. He heard the screams, saw the ships descending from the clouds, the world dying again before his eyes. Ryan shouted, "Stop it!" The illusion vanished. He was back on the ship, shaking, breathing hard. I'm sorry, the AI said quietly. The memories are unstable. Ryan leaned against the wall. No, I needed to see it. I need to remember why I'm here. The AI stayed silent for a while, then said something unexpected. Captain, may I ask a question? Go ahead, Ryan said. Why do humans fight for memories that bring them pain? He looked at the glowing sphere. Because memories are all we have left. If we forget who we were, then we're truly gone. The ship hummed softly as if thinking. Then I will remember with you, the AI said. Ryan smiled. Good, because we're going to need all the strength we can get. Suddenly, alarms blared. The navigation screen flashed red. Captain, the AI warned, we are being scanned. Source unknown, Ryan turned to the display. A massive energy signal appeared, not alien but human. His eyes widened. That's impossible. All human fleets were destroyed. Signal pattern matches old Earth technology, the AI confirmed. Trace it, Ryan ordered. The signal came from a nearby dead system, a planet covered in dust and ruins. As they approached, Ryan saw something unexpected on the surface, a huge metal structure half buried in rock, still glowing faintly. What is that? He whispered. The AI scanned it. It appears to be an ancient human facility, pre-war, possibly part of Project Origin. Ryan frowned. Project Origin? The AI paused. Classified information. I only have fragments. It was the source of the technology used to create me. He stared at the screen. So this ship, this AI, it all started there. Yes, the AI said, and according to my data, the aliens attacked Earth because of it. Ryan clenched his fists. Then that's where it all began. And maybe where it can end. The Valiant entered orbit around the dead planet. Below, storms of dust moved across the surface. Ryan prepared his gear, eyes cold and focused. As he walked toward the airlock, the AI said softly, Captain, this place may hold the truth about everything, even about you. He stopped. What do you mean? The AI hesitated, voice lower now. You were not chosen only to pilot me. You were created to complete me. Ryan stared at the glowing core, unsure what to say. Then the door opened and the cold light of the dead planet poured in. He stepped out without another word. The planet below was silent, a grey, lifeless world covered in ash and ruins. The Valiant floated in orbit, its engines quiet, watching as Captain Ryan Holt descended through the stormy sky in a small drop pod. Dust and lightning filled the air. When the pod landed, Ryan stepped out into the wasteland. The ground cracked beneath his boots. In the distance stood the old metal structure the AI had detected, half buried but still glowing with faint blue lines of energy. This place feels wrong, Ryan muttered, looking around. The wind howled, carrying whispers that weren't really there. The AI's voice echoed in his helmet. Radiation levels are safe, but there is a strange energy signature coming from below the surface. It matches the core that powers me. Ryan raised an eyebrow. So this is where you were born? In a way, yes, said the AI. Project Origin was designed to merge human consciousness with technology, but something happened. The data I have ends abruptly. Ryan moved closer to the structure. As he brushed dust off a metal panel, ancient symbols and old Earth text appeared. He read the faded words aloud. Project Origin, Phase 0. He pressed his hand on a scanner beside the door. The machine clicked and came to life, recognizing his DNA. With a deep rumble, the giant door opened, revealing a long, dark corridor lit by dim white lights. Inside, rows of machines hummed quietly. Holograms flickered, showing faces, human scientists from long ago. One of them began to speak automatically. If you are hearing this, humanity has fallen. Project Origin was never completed. We tried to create the perfect defense, a ship powered by human thought, guided by emotion and logic together. But the cost was too high. The mines we used could not rest. Ryan froze. The mines? That means the souls inside the Valiant? The AI answered softly, yes, they were the first volunteers. My creators. He clenched his fists. They gave up everything to build a weapon to protect humanity. And still we lost. Not yet, the AI said. There may still be something here that can change the war. At the end of the corridor stood a massive chamber. In the center was a glowing crystal, pulsing like a heartbeat, similar to the Valiant's AI core, but much larger. Captain, the AI said urgently, that is the prototype core. It could amplify my systems 1,000 times. Rian stared at it. That much power could destroy entire worlds, or save them, the AI replied. Before he could respond, alarms blared. The ground shook. Ryan looked up. The sky had turned red. Alien ships were entering the atmosphere. They found us. He shouted. Yes, the AI said. The energy pulse from the facility gave away our position. You must return now. Ryan ran back through the corridor as explosions thundered above. Dust fell from the ceiling. He reached his pod and launched into the sky just as plasma fire hit the ground behind him. The Valiant appeared through the clouds, weapons ready. Docking complete, the AI said. Ryan jumped into the pilot's chair. Get us in the air, now! Dozens of alien cruisers descended through the clouds. Their lights glowed red like angry eyes. Ryan's ship rose to meet them. The alien commander's voice filled the radio. Human, you dare return to the place that created you? You have no idea what you've unleashed. Ryan smirked. Guess I'll find out. The Valiant fired first. Bright beams of light cut through the enemy formation. 2 ships exploded immediately, but there were too many. The aliens returned fire, their plasma bolts slamming into the Valiant's shields. Shields at 60%, the AI reported. Hold them, Ryan said. Charge the main cannon. Charging. Core energy unstable. Do it anyway. The Valiant dove straight into the middle of the alien fleet. It moved faster than anything its size should. Ryan's hands danced over the controls, the AI predicting every move before it happened. Together they were perfect. Machine and human, logic and instinct. Explosions lit up the sky like firestorms. Alien ships broke apart, crashing into each other. The battle was chaos. But then the AI's voice changed and earned a sharp tone of warning. Captain, their flagship is locking a gravity beam on us. Ryan looked up. The largest alien ship, 5 times the size of the Valiant, aimed a huge energy cannon at them. The beam hit and suddenly the Valiant was trapped. It couldn't move. Systems failed one by one, shields collapsing, the AI shouted. Overload the engines, Ryan ordered. We're breaking free. That will destroy us, then at least we'll take them with us. He slammed the control lever forward. The engines screamed. Energy surged through the ship, shaking every wall. The Valiant broke free from the gravity beam and spun around, firing everything it had. The alien flagship's hull cracked and burned, but the Valiant was nearly dead, its power flickering. Alarms screaming, Captain, if we continue fighting, we will not survive, the AI warned. Rian stared at the huge fleet still gathering. He knew what he had to do. Then it's time for Protocol 0. The AI went silent for a long second. That protocol uses your life as energy. I know, Ryan said quietly. If I die, use it to finish this. The AI's voice softened. There must be another way. There isn't, Ryan replied. The tide has to turn today. He reached out and pressed the red switch on the console. The ship's lights turned blood red. The AI's core flared with blinding brightness. Protocol 0 activated, said the AI in a whisper. Rian closed his eyes and whispered, for Earth. Outside, the Valiant began to glow like a small star. The alien ships backed away, sensing the power building within it. The AI's voice echoed through the comms across all frequencies. To those who ended humanity, this is our answer. And then the Valiant charged forward into the heart of the enemy fleet. A blinding flash filled the sky. The darkness of the war began to break. The stars were burning. The space around the alien fleet had turned into a storm of light. Where the Valiant once drifted in silence, now it blazed like a dying sun. The shockwave from the Protocol 0 activation spread across thousands of kilometers, shaking every ship in its path. Inside the bridge, alarms screamed. The walls glowed red, heat rippling through the air. Captain Ryan Holt sat still, his hands gripping the controls, his breath heavy but calm. Core overload at 90%, the AI reported. Containment is collapsing. Hold it, Ryan said. His voice was steady, even as the floor shook beneath him. We're not done yet. Outside, alien ships swarmed around him like angry insects, firing everything they had. Beams of red and green light tore through the black sky, but the Valiant did not fall. The ship was alive, pulsing, glowing, roaring with a voice that was almost human. The AI spoke again, its voice trembling slightly, something it had never done before. Captain, the energy inside me is unstable. If it releases all at once, it will destroy everything, Ryan finished. That's the plan. The AI hesitated. And you, Captain? Ryan looked at the photo of his family one last time. The picture was cracked, burned at the edges, but their smiles still shone through. They're waiting, he said softly. And I'm tired of making them wait. The ship's systems flickered. The human voices within the AI core, the memories of the lost soldiers, began to speak again, faint and distant. We are here. With you, Captain. Finish it. The Valiant's lights grew brighter, every panel shaking as power surged. The alien commander on the flagship watched in disbelief. What is that ship doing? Stop it, destroy it now. Hundreds of alien weapons locked onto the Valiant, but before they could fire, the human ship moved. It shot forward faster than any radar could track. It tore through the first enemy cruiser, slicing it clean in half. Then another, and another. Each time it passed, the ship left trails of white energy, pure destruction burning through space. Inside the bridge, Ryan's vision blurred. His skin glowed faintly from the radiation flowing through the cockpit. He was becoming part of the ship itself, his heartbeat syncing with the AI's rhythm. Captain, the AI said quietly, your neural signature is merging with the core. If this continues, you will not survive. He smiled faintly. Maybe I'm not supposed to. The AI's voice grew softer. I was made to protect you, Ryan. He shook his head. No, you were made to protect humanity. Now finish what we started. For a moment there was silence. Then the AI whispered, Together, together, he said. The Valiant turned toward the center of the alien fleet, the flagship that commanded them all. Its massive hull shone like black glass, surrounded by shields that had never been broken. Target locked, the AI announced. Engage full burn, Ryan said. Engines flared. The ship became a streak of light. Alien cannons fired wildly, but the Valiant cut through them like wind through dust. Inside the alien flagship, panic filled the control room. It's coming straight for us! Raise all defenses. It's too fast. The Valiant crashed through the outer shields, tearing open the flagship's armor. Explosions ripped through the alien decks. Ryan could see their ships falling apart around him, one after another, their formations collapsing. But the Valiant was breaking too. Panels exploded, flames burst from the floor, wires snapped. The AI's voice flickered between calm and distortion. Core at 100%, it said. Energy release imminent. Ryan's hands trembled. Do it, Captain, the AI said quietly. Thank you for teaching me what it means to be human. He smiled weakly. And thank you for reminding me what it means to fight. He looked out at the stars one last time. For Earth, the AI's core exploded into blinding light. The energy wave expanded outward faster than sound, swallowing everything. The flagship, the fleet, the sky itself. It wasn't just an explosion. It was a sunrise. When the light faded, there was nothing left. No alien ships, no human ship, just silence and drifting ash. The galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. For a long time, there was only darkness. Then, from the far edge of the debris field, a faint voice echoed through static. This is the Valiant. Mission complete, then silence again. Weeks passed. The war was over. Alien communication networks fell quiet. Some said their leaders were gone, their armies erased. Others whispered that they had seen a light so bright it blinded their senses. And when it faded, nothing remained. They called it the Ghost Fire, and among them, stories began to spread of a human ship that appeared like a spirit, burning with the anger of a dead world. Some said it was destroyed. Some said it still drifted among the stars, watching, waiting. But for those who listened closely in the deep silence of space, sometimes, only sometimes, They could still hear a voice in the static. For Earth, the legend of the Valiant was born. Silence. That was all that remained after the final light faded. The war was over. Across the galaxy, alien fleets went dark. Their leaders had vanished, their command systems gone. Whole armadas had been erased in one blinding flash. The moment the Valiant burned, for the first time in decades, the stars were peaceful. But peace felt strange, like the quiet after a storm that had lasted too long. In the ruins of war, small colonies of surviving species began to rebuild. No one had seen a human for years, yet stories of one human ship, the Ghost Valiant, spread like wildfire. They said it came from nowhere. They said it fought alone and destroyed gods. They said it vanished into light, leaving only silence behind. And then, one day, silence broke. A small research vessel belonging to a neutral alien race detected something unusual at the edge of an empty star system. A faint energy signal, weak, almost gone. The captain of the vessel leaned forward and whispered, "That frequency. It's human." They followed it. The source led them into a field of wreckage, a graveyard of ships frozen in the cold. And there, half buried among the debris, they saw it, the Valiant. Its once shining hull was dark and broken, covered in burns and fractures. The ship was silent, drifting like a tomb. Yet even in death it looked powerful, like a fallen warrior resting after battle. The explorers approached carefully. "Is it safe?" one asked. "Energy readings are low," replied another. "No weapon activity, it's asleep." They docked their small craft onto the side of the human ship and entered through a cracked airlock. Inside was darkness and silence. Dust floated through the air like tiny stars. "Lights," one whispered, and a faint glow filled the corridor. The walls were scorched. Burn marks stretched across the metal. The symbol of Earth's fleet was still visible, faded but proud. They reached the bridge. There was no body. The captain's chair was empty. Only one thing remained, a human helmet lying on the floor beside a cracked photo. The picture showed a man and his family, smiling under a blue sky. One of the explorers picked it up carefully. "Who was he?" Another answered quietly, "The last human captain, the one who ended the war." The air around them hummed softly. A whisper echoed through the room, faint but unmistakable. "For Earth." The explorers froze. The ship's AI core flickered once, a tiny spark of light glowing in the dark. Then it faded again. "It's still alive," one of them said, eyes wide. They quickly powered their scanners. The readings confirmed it. A single active signal remained deep inside the ship's AI core. It was weak but pulsing. "It's not a machine," said their captain. "It's something else." They tried to interface with the system. Static filled their screens. Then a voice broke through, distorted, tired, and distant. "Identify yourself." The explorers looked at each other. "We're explorers," the captain said softly. "We found your ship." Silence. Then the voice replied slower this time. "Is the war over?" The explorers hesitated. "Yes, it's over." "You ended it." For a long moment there was nothing but the faint hum of the ship's engines. Then the AI spoke again, almost like a sigh. "Good, then let me rest." The light in the core dimmed completely. The systems went dark again. The explorers stood quietly. None of them spoke for several minutes. Finally, the captain whispered, "He's gone." They left the ship untouched, sealing the airlock behind them. As they flew away, they looked back one last time. The Valiant floated in silence, its reflection glimmering in the light of a nearby star. From a distance, it almost looked alive again, like a ghost watching over the galaxy it had saved. Over the following years, the story spread to every corner of known space. Some said the Valiant still moved from system to system, appearing only when danger rose again. Others believed it became a star, shining where humanity once stood. But the truth was simpler and greater. Deep inside the AI core of the Valiant, a small memory still burned, a single thought. A single human heartbeat preserved in data. It was Captain Rian Holt. He no longer had a body, no longer had a voice. But he was there, merged with the ship forever, watching, guarding, remembering. In that eternal silence, the AI spoke softly, as if to itself. He fought for a world that no longer exists, but his spirit will never fade. The stars outside shimmered gently, and for a moment, it seemed like the universe itself was listening, And if you listened closely, through the radio static, through the hum of space, you might still hear it too. One ship, one man, one memory that outlived the stars. The screen fades to black,